Welcome to Season 3 of The Breakdown, the official podcast of the Breakaway Roping Journal and calfroping.com. This season, we're diving into both the breakaway and calf roping like never before, bringing you the personalities, successes, and horses that make these events great.
You can expect training tips from the top ropers, stories from the road, and industry news that goes beyond the numbers.
I'm Taylor Vollen, your calf roping host.
And I'm Lillian Kent, your breakaway host.
And this is The Breakdown. Hey everyone, it's Taylor. Welcome back to the Tie-Down Breakdown. So I know this episode is a little wonky coming to you guys on a Sunday, but I think you're going to enjoy it regardless. And like I've said, I feel like 100 times now, this time of year is so crazy and everybody is so busy. Now, if you're a fan of the Team Roping Journal and the Score podcast, you already know that every year Chelsea Schaefer, the host of the Score and our fearless leader, does an episode on the horses that deserve the PRCA AQHA Horse of the Year award. She talks to a couple guys in the top 15 or on the bubble about the horses that have kind of caught their eye over the year and who they're thinking might win the award. So I figured we'd go ahead and do that over here on the Tie-Down Roping side of things. This is kind of a quicker episode, but I talked to three guys inside the top 15, Shane Hanchey, Kincade Henry, and Meged, on their picks for the 2024 Horse of the Year award. First, I bring you Shane, the 2013 world champ and current PRCA Tie-Down Roping event director, 7th in the world standings right now, and it's safe to say he knows a thing or two about the Horse of the Year award. We all know Shane has ridden some amazing horses over the years, and two of his horses have gone on to win the Horse of the Year award. So here are the horses Shane has been impressed with this year and who he's kind of thinking might win the award. I guess just kind of jumping right into it, who are kind of your picks this year? What horses have you been most impressed with, you think?
Oh, I mean, I think it's between two. I think it's between Lollipop of Shads and Smoke of Havens. I mean, you look towards the top of the world standings, they're both, first and third respectively, and they've been riding them main horses, most of the time. So, I mean, that's what it comes down to is nowadays, everybody's got more than one horse, and so you can't really hold it against many people to change a lot. I know Ty's second in the world, and he's rode a lot of different horses, and to his benefit, he's able to ride them and win on them. But sorry, he's having a fit back there.
It's no worries.
It's real life rodeoing right now. But yeah, I mean, I think it's between Lollipop and Smoke.
Yeah, it's hard not to pick those two, like you said, with how much they have won on those two this year.
Yeah, and I mean, with the amount of money there is to be won now, especially all the money in the rodeos, and, we're not even to Sioux Falls yet, and both of them horses, I assume, will be there. Like Haven won Calgary on his sorrel, but, I mean, it just goes to show you that how valuable, these horses are.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think it is quality-wise about those two that has them your picks?
Well, I mean, I think anybody that watches them sees that they score great. They score great. They can really run. They really close the gap well. If they miss the barrier a little bit, it doesn't matter. They catch up just as fast as anything going. And to me, they're not little horses. They're I rode both of them, but they're bigger horses and stout and can take the road. I mean, I think that's something you got to look at these horses of the year. You got to wonder. You got to ask yourself, have they been hauled quite a bit? From the winter to the spring to the summer to the fall, and a lot of times, like Bugsy last year, I literally rode him at 98% of the rodeos I went to, and I think durability is a big thing. And if you look at them two horses, they're built right and they're built to take it.
Yeah. Are there any horses you feel like if they got rode just a little bit more, they would be right there with them?
Well, I think obviously Haven Sorrel that he did some good thing that far on. If he rode him, and he had a bit of an injury. I think after San Antonio, maybe. So he held him out until around Calgary, I think. But that one, and I mean, the ones that come to mind, you're going to make me have to look at the standings now.
Sorry.
Let's see. I should know this offhand, but obviously Riley's got 3 good ones.
Yeah.
I think Rudy is his best one, and he won the world title on him. And he suffered injury over there at Greeley, and so he had to hold off on him.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I mean, Kincade's Mario. I mean, this is the first year Kincade's not been on the bubble, and a lot of that reason was getting Mario out to win Greeley on and to go from there. And he's been having a heck of a summer.
Mm-hmm.
As far as that's kind of my list.
Yeah.
Going to make the national finals and going to have them nominated, I believe.
Mm-hmm. When does voting end? Or when is the award?
You nominate them now, and I don't think you vote until October, the first week of October.
Gotcha.
So it gives you a little bit, and you have to vote for 3 horses, right?
Yeah.
So, the points work 3, 2, 1, and in order that you vote them. And so you got to vote for 2 other horses. So, I mean, that's what makes it a little tighter of a race.
Speaking of horses of the year, you had Cy with you in Pendleton, didn't you?
Yeah, I rode Cy.
That's awesome.
3 of us did, me, Bo Cooper, and Hunter. And then my wife rode him in the breakaway, so it was cool.
How often does that happen, or is that a one-time deal? You cracking Cy out like that?
Oh, I rode him quite I rode him a little bit this summer. I rode him at Cheyenne. I rode him at Salinas. A couple of us rode him at Salinas. He's always liked those rodeos. That's not necessarily easy on the horses.
Yeah.
It's just kind of his mentality. He's a big, strong, big-boned horse that really likes to get in the ground and get a hold of them. So I try to ride him at them rodeos that the calves, are fresh or, won second at Homedale, Idaho on him this year. And I rode him a little bit, sparingly to give River a little bit of a break this summer since Jules, got hurt in June. So it's a good compliment to have, knowing that you got the old campaigner in there, and he's just he's been great to have.
Now, okay, kind of talking about your rig, sorry, but this was kind of a different summer for you at the beginning, right? With 2 young horses. I mean, that was a little different than you're used to.
Yeah, very stressful leaving home for the summer with 22,000, and I had a 5-year-old and a 6-year-old, and then I had Cy with me, but knowing that the 5 and 6-year-old was going to have to step up.
Yeah.
And as much as they did, Jules was really good. She suffered an injury at Greeley short round July 3rd, so she's been home since then. But really had to make River step up. And right now he's tired, and I know it. He felt tired, about Kennewick time, and give him 2 weeks off after Kennewick, and I rode him at Puyallup at 1 second. Puyallup on him last week, but I think it's just that time of year the miles have been stacking up, and the runs, and he's just gritty. That's what I told my wife the other day. As many calves as I've run on him this summer, I can't really remember him not pulling. No, he might not have stopped and took a hit great every time, but man, if you watch him, no jerk line. He's never had a jerk line on him, and he just pulls perfect. I just goes to show you, he's got a lot of heart, and he's going to have a well-deserved break for the next, probably 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah. You don't think? Is there any chance we'd see him in the nomination pool, or?
I nominated him for sure. I think it's. I'm not saying that he deserves it, but he has. I've rode him, all year pretty much. I rode him. I cracked him out at Fort Worth, and rode him at Houston, and as an early 5-year-old, and then this summer and this fall. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have made the national finals. Pretty simple. From what I've won on him all year. So I think that's pretty cool that he's 5 years old and he's in the running. And I don't expect people to vote for him. I hope they see what we did together. But I'm just excited that he is, made it through the tough times of the summer run and the fall run, and we're headed home now.
For sure. Yeah, he deserves some bragging, I feel like.
Yeah.
Now, okay, you've had 2 horses of the year, correct?
Yeah.
As someone who's won the award twice, I mean, how special is the award? I feel like it is talked about, but not as much to like the everyday people.
I mean, it for me and like my family and like what we strive for as horsepower, and knowing that I would have never made it where I was today without special horses. I mean, it means a hell of a lot to us.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Riata never won it. He won second twice, but he was going against some tough horses, you know, with Pearl and Sweetness. And, but it's hard for me to say that he didn't deserve it, because I think he did at least once. So they're very special to me, and being able to win them is even more special. So it just goes to show you that other people see, you know, how much pride and stuff you take into your horses to vote for them. That's what's the cool thing about the horse of the year. Like, it doesn't matter what you think about them. It matters what the people that you've roped against all year and all season think about them. And if they have, you know, if they have enough knowledge and stuff to vote for them, then it just feels good, you know?
Yeah. This episode is presented by our Women in Rodeo Month sponsors, R. Watson Boots, Resistol, and Mane and Tail. It's September, which means it's Women in Rodeo Month here at caproping.com, the Team Roping Journal, the Breakaway Roping Journal, and barrelracing.com. All month long, we've been celebrating the ladies who drive the sport forward with the help of R. Watson Boots, Resistol, and Mane and Tail. You heard Shane bring up Kincade's roan horse, Mario. Kincade and I talked a few weeks ago for an episode on him for the Tie-Down Breakdown, and he brings up Mario and why he's his pick for the horse of the year. We also talk a little bit about what Mario's done for Kincade's 2024 season, another reason why he believes he deserves the award. We like to do at the end of the year, kind of talk about horse of the year and maybe what you guys are thinking for who might be in the running. Is that something that's kind of being talked about right now amongst the calf ropers, or?
Yeah, and I haven't talked to a lot of people about it. I am going to nominate Mario.
Awesome.
This is the first year that I've rode, which in June I didn't ride him, but I rode him all winter, and then I rode him July on, and he's just been outstanding everywhere. He hasn't made any mistakes, and I am going to nominate him, and I feel like it would be amazing for him to be able to go win Horse of the Year. That would be probably one of my proudest accomplishments, like for his sake, for him to win that. He's 18 years old this year, and I feel like he's working the best he's ever worked. And, you know, you can't leave out Haven Meged's bay horse.
Yeah.
That horse is outstanding everywhere. Shad's bay mare he bought from Andrew Burks, that's a amazing horse as well. You know, that there's a couple of them for sure that everybody knows will be in there, but I guess we'll see how the voting goes and see how it works out.
What do you feel? I know you said Mario didn't like mess up this year and stuff, but what do you feel like is kind of his it factor that could give him a chance, you know, to win Horse of the Year?
I think just being a trooper, and you know, he's gotten passed through a bunch of guys, and I don't know, there's just something about whenever I got him, and I'm not saying I made him any better at all, but just something about whenever I got him, me and him just connected, and it's just everywhere I ride him, it's, if I do my job, I'm going to win. I don't have to worry about anything that he's going to do. And, you know, being 18 years old, he's been rodeoed on. I mean, Sterling Smith, they was telling stories the other day about how big of an outlaw he used to be, and he still is, but how big of an outlaw he used to be when he was 7 years old, and Sterling Smith was rodeoing on him. But, yeah, just I think being 18 years old and being as solid as he is, that's what what means so much to me, and I'm just so blessed to have them.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, lastly, I bring you Haven. Like Shane, Haven has ridden some outstanding horses over the years. We all remember Beyonce, who he won his 2019 world title on. This year, he had some great horses in the trailer as well. Haven breaks down his picks. From what I've picked up, these are kind of the two horses that everyone has had their eyes on. So here are the horses that Haven thinks could win the award. What horses have you kind of had your eye on this year for Horse of the Year? I know I've heard people say Smoke should be up for it.
Yep, that's I guess I nominated him and stuff the other day, so I guess I hope he wins, but we'll see, I guess.
Yeah.
Milo Sorrel, he's one of the best out there too. I'm blessed to have two of the best horses going down the road right now.
Yeah.
Chad's Lollipop is obviously one of the best too.
Mm-hmm.
Those are probably the top 3 horses that are going down the road right now.
Yeah. Smoke was in the running last year too, wasn't he?
Yep.
What is it about him that you think makes him just so, stand out so much?
He's so big and strong. He's a freak. I feel like he's going to be one of the best that have ever probably going to go down. Short starts, long scores, it doesn't really matter. I don't like riding him in the buildings as much. If I could ride him at Sioux Falls, he was really good there last year, but I tend to kick him out in the pasture too much and not keep him rode down enough for the winter rodeos. Just too fresh usually inside in the wintertime. And Charles really excels inside, so I've just got a horse that's really good for outside and then I got that Little Punch. He's just really good everywhere in the wintertime and short starts.
Yeah, which, you won a lot on Little Punch, didn't you? Calgary and Odessa were one on him, right?
Yep, I won Calgary, Odessa, and then I won, I think I won second or third at Ogden on him.
Yes, yeah.
I really haven't rode him a whole lot this summer
because
he came back. He was hurt.
That's right, yeah.
So he really didn't get a whole lot of riding.
Do you, I'm sure he's got to be in it too, but do you think it'd be even more of a close race between him and Smoke if you'd been able to ride him more this year?
There's some little things that Lil Punch needs to that I want to work on this winter with him and stuff. About going down the arena. He's really good up front, but he was a breakaway horse for a while, so there's a little bit of stuff he needs to learn about staying good and through a stop out there when I'm getting off of him. The bay is like riding a bike, honestly. It's like getting on my black mare. You know what he's going to do every single time. So, and he's so big and strong. If you need to turn one around, he's going to let you turn one around. But if you handle your slack good and need to jerk the crap out of one, he's going to take care of you.
Yeah. When you think a Horse of the Year, what are kind of the things that you think qualifies a horse for it?
The biggest deal for me is probably what horses, from start to finish been the best all year long. You know what I mean? Realistically, there's 2 horses that I think if they don't win top 2, I guess it's a freaking Democratic election or something. Because Shad's Lollipop and Smoke,
if they don't win first and second, I guess I don't know what's going on out there.
Yeah. Hey, that's
because
fair. Yeah.
Those are by far the two best horses going down the road.
Mm-hmm. Has it really just been Smoke and Little Punch for you this year, or is there anybody else I'm forgetting about that you would have rode?
Oh, I rode a green 7-year-old I had at one rodeo in Canada, but that's it. I mean, he's going to be one of them ones that I crack out next summer.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, then even more that just shows how versatile Smoke has to be.
Yep. No, he got his wheels hauled off this summer. He's pretty much done for the year. I'm going to ride Punch at Mandan, Sioux Falls, and the Canadian finals, and then I'll match on Smoke in October and stuff.
Nice. Have you won Horse of the Year before, or is it just that you've been up for it?
I've been second, third. My mare never did win it. She came close. She was runner-up to Pockets, I think, twice.
Twice, yeah. I remember her being in it, but I couldn't remember. Is this something that, like, how important would this be to you to win it?
Honestly, when my mare never won it, honestly, it's cool. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I'd love to win it, but, I feel like that mare was one of the best horses I've ever rode in my life. But that Smoke is one of those horses, too. He scores better than my mare did, but to be able to – I just hope he wins it, honestly, because the last 3 years, this is third year out on the road, and, just not saying because he's my horse, but that horse can flat fly and does everything.
Yeah.
The stuff he did at Panuca was most horses can't even do what he did out there. To be able to run and set it up and give me a chance to win every single time. We ran a lot of not so good calves and he made them good.
Yeah.
I think that's what separates him so much is going to take care of you.
Mm-hmm. Has anyone else hopped on him this year, or has it just been you?
Marty rode him on one calf at Baker.
Gotcha.
And he was 8'6", 9 or placed towards the bottom. He just calf, I think, kicked or he dropped his string or something happened from him winning top 2 holes.
Gotcha. With training horses and stuff, do you feel like you maybe have a better eye at kind of what horses are Horse of the Year worthy, I guess?
Yes, I would. I'm not going to say I have a better eye than anybody else.
Right.
But I know what a good one feels like, and I've been blessed to have them in my career. A lot of people have never got to swing a leg over, a top horse. And the biggest deal, a top horse that makes such a big deal for you is a top horse that – a top horse – my wife was trying to tell me something. But a top horse to me is what separates a top 5 roper from a top 10 roper.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Perfect. I know this episode was kind of short, like I said, and I do wish I could have brought you guys more interviews and some more opinions, but like I said, super crazy time of year. Voting for Horse of the Year should be starting shortly, and that award is usually announced at the beginning of October, if I'm not mistaken. You already know that calfrippin.com will be bringing you a story on whatever horse ends up winning the award, and you already know that come December, we will be your home for all things NFR Tie-Down Roping.